All right, so let's check this out. Hello, everybody. Welcome. This is a Neovim application I'm working on. If you don't know what Neovim is, you're not gotta worry about it. It's a text editor basically. It's exactly what I'm doing right here. It lets you edit inside of the text editor. Um, I mean, I could talk about it for days. Anybody who uses it can talk about it for days. I am not going to talk about it for days though, because it will bore many people and start many a controversy, many a debate. All right, so hello everybody. This is the application. Let's start with it. Okay, so as we can see here, there's a lot of Japanese text. Sometimes it can be a little difficult to see everything. There's a bunch of great applications out there. But sometimes you got to make your own custom thing, right? And that's how you learn. So I learned by making my own custom tools. Here's my custom tool that I made. So this is a plugin that allows me to cursor over different kanjis and see the readings in real time. This Neovim uses the keyboard, so this is for very keyboard oriented people. I'm also working on some stuff for like browsers, but when it comes to front end and stuff, I mean, there's so many great ones out there, right? So you're kind of reinventing the wheel there. Actually, everything you do is going to be reinventing the wheel in computers, just how it is. All right, so here we go. Okay, so I'm going to turn my extension on. I do that by typing in con as a command. So now kanji hover enabled. It says kanji hovered enabled. Kanji hovered enabled. For some reason, this microphone isn't picking up cool things. I wanted to do a little beatbox number like, "Oh," but I can't. It doesn't pick the bass up, so it just sounds like wait, 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 wait. All right. So now what do we got? Oh, what is this? Now we have a window that is able to pick up kanji. So like if I type in horses, something like that. Let me put this down here, and then I type in like okay, perfect. So you see, it doesn't pick up anything with hiragana or the romaji, but when it goes over kanji, it does pick it up and it tells you what does it mean. Sometimes I want to always know what the kanji means because that's the only way I can reinforce it in my head. Uh, oh wow, there's a siren out there. Hopefully it doesn't pick up the low end frequencies on this microphone. Okay, so there we go. It gives you the kanji readings, right? And then you can see there where the arrow is at, like that. It says TIPFX. What that's telling me is this from this kanji can come a transitive, an intransitive verb, a pre, and a prefix. So this boon is used as a prefix, and I think it's also a suffix. That's some things I have to fix on the end, on my end, and that's how you learn, right? You start categorizing words, you mine them, and all that stuff. Okay, so if I were to hover over this word, if you look at the bottom, bunka, and there you go, partition, division. So it's actually telling me exactly what that word means. And it's down there too, so you can see it. If I want to use uh, the Jisho application, which is very good, I recommend it to anybody. You just type in Jisho, bam, that takes you to their website, and you can see exactly what that word means. Very nice, very nice. Okay, if I go to translate, if I go to translate, it'll take me to Google Translate. And this isn't really, you don't really need it for this. But for example, let's say I had something like this, right? I had something like this long piece of text uh, in here, right? And I really want to know what it means. Well, I could do two things. One, and this is one of the greatest things about Gshou, is it is actually going to parse them for you. So if you type this in with the URL, there you go. You have a nice front end interface that gives you every single word really nice. And it's really a wonderful tool, right? You could leverage that. But if that's a little too is that's a little sorry, I saw my own reflection. But if that doesn't work out for you, then what you can do is you can just go translate. Bam, now we can translate it. And if you're feeling really really cool and you're using Chat GPT, which by the way it is really good for explaining certain Japanese words, you can start getting these boys to talk to each other. Sorry, I don't want you to hear me now.
簡単ではない様々な障害をかわしながら
means overcoming various obstacles that aren't simple. It's often used to describe overcoming challenges.
And of course, that one's a really obvious use case, but when it comes to really digging up words, now you got that into here, and now you can interact with the system. That's the way I do things. I don't want to talk about whether AI or not is the future and all that stuff. People get too controversial. All right, so let's say here the reading for this is taku. I can see that because I mean you have kind of a baseline understanding. Trying to make this more user friendly for beginners. If I were to do something like uh, on read, I think that's it, right? And taku, bam! It just printed out every single taku that is in the is inside of the On-yomi table. Man, I have to work on some of those like windows. They can get in the way and stuff during presentations, or just get better at my own tool. Am I right? Just learn the tool. Okay, so now we have taku, right? This read as taku, right? Did it read it taku? No, it didn't actually. I misread that. Whatever. Sometimes you make mistakes. But okay, now you can turn this on and it's like, hey, look, you see these two little boys right here? They have that little tail thingy and they look kind of similar. Taku, taku. Wow. So if you remember that little tail, hey, you can remember two kanjis just by remembering the radical on the side. So it's like talk and the roof. So one has a roof, one talks. That consign and home. Okay. And then yeah, so you have all those readings, and these are all the taku readings. So you know that when you see taku, it's probably just going to be these seven when dealing with on-yomi. Then you have kunyomi. That's a whole different. It's a parallel. Japanese is a parallel universe, man. I mean, there's two different readings, and they're both going on at the same time, and it could be. It is insane. It is great. It is cool. It's fun. I love it. Uh, Okay, I think this is a grammar point. Is this a grammar point? Let's see if this is a grammar point. Let me check. Is this a grammar point? Yes, it registered as a grammar point. So now teoku. Now I can look at these beautiful resources that Japanese Test for You put out on the internet. These are free, and then you can look at all these examples. You have quick links, so you can go quick. A lot of times, referencing things and trying to index them is the hardest. For me, this is what I wanted. I wanted a one-stop shop, just I can move and move and move, make mistakes quick. I have that color application that I showed you guys last time in a different video. Boom, there you go. So when I see the red text, I know it's only one reading. When I see different than red text, that's multiple readings. And then the backgrounds also tell me what the kunyomi has. That's in a previous video, and maybe I can explain it more later. Still working on it. These color schemes are still a little wonky. And then there you go. I can see what I have. I also have a Rikai-kun installed, which is, I think, one of the best tools you can use when learning. Okay, so Rikai-kun, what it's going to do is it's going to go through text and it's actually going to parse the word for you. And the parsing in Japanese is very hard. But the way that this app does it, I mean, mwah, beautiful. And now you have all the definitions that you need, similar to what I did with the Neovim, but the Neovim helps me navigate quickly through different websites. That's why you want to use a little bit of every service. It's not one thing's going to replace another. They're complementary. They marry into each other. Okay, and that's what I have so far for my application. Is there anything on there? I have some broken features here. Kanji highlight. Oh man. Yeah, okay, no, no, okay, no. I mean, I don't remember the command. Even if I do it, it's gonna do it wrong. Basically, it's gonna try to highlight them in the Neovim the same way it does on the browser. Very fun stuff. Very fun. Very cool. All right, if you guys want to maybe have some little tutorials and stuff like that on working on these tools, just feel free to hit me up. I have many more of these type of things, but I mean that's like that would take too long, right? Nobody wants to see that. So with any of that, I'm out. Peace. Woo, 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 yeah, let's go.